Harry was a fool. This was not an insult. He studied at the School of Fools. He learned the sad jokes, learned the sad pranks, learned how to sidle up to royalty for reward and not get beheaded. How to clown for free food in the marketplace. If he were a monk, he would have had a begging bowl. He was a fool, so he made people laugh in exchange for half-eaten apples and such. If he became a fool of fools, he would help kings forget the weight of the ruler's hip for a few minutes. Harry was proud to be a fool. It was foolish pride. With a name like Harry, of course he shaved his head. It was the mandatory Monday morning meeting, and all the fools were there. Harry watched the first fool. He walked down to the stage, walking upon thin air. Far above, a handler playing out invisibly thin ropes, and the lead fool pantomimed, walking down as if on a spiral stair. When his foot touched the stage, he tripped. No one laughed. "It is time for a new foolish leadership to be selected," the first fool said. His robes fluttered as he regality waved his foolish implement of leadership, the inflated bladder on a stick. "We need someone who is fearless and funny." "Whoever wants your job would have to be a fool," came a voice from the gallery. "Who said that?" the first fool fumed. Silence answered. Vocal projection, throwing your voice into a dummy. Someone has been studying, but still, we do need new leadership. There are many new challenges to the Fools Guild. A tenth of a half of an apple just is not going to cut it. The susurration of voices rose as fools broke their silence and whispered one to another. "Harry," came the coarse whisper from his friend, "now's your chance. You've studied accountability and casting pies and blame. It could be you filling those shoes." Harry said nothing. This morning he shaved his head so bald it was still leaking. But leadership has its ways, and the first fool was no dummy. With unerring accuracy, the bladder on a stick pointed at Harry's place in the gallery. Harry could feel his blush starting. When the spotlight hit him, he stood up. They knew. The increased blood pressure stimulated the growth of his hair. A green mohawk, half an inch tall and 2 inches wide, formed upon his head, and 2 green tufts surrounded his ears. The inch of hair was surrounded by bald stubble, which only served to emphasize the green. There was nothing for it but he slowly made his way down to the stage, and by the time he stood in front of the first fool, the green was 2 inches long. "That's quite a talent you have there," the lead fool said. "Useless," muttered Harry, "as are all such foolish talents." "Perfect," the first fool said, slapping Harry 3 times with the balloon. "What are my orders?" Harry asked, detailing his descent into doom. "The Fool's Guild has borrowed money. We spent it foolishly. And now the moneylenders want their money back." "If they lent us money, then they were the fools," Harry said. "'Twas backed by the land upon which the Fool's Guild sits. And now we lose our guild hall because of our foolishness," Harry said. "And now you foist this foolish responsibility on me. Am I to sell our members to the meat market?" "Wouldn't be enough to go around," the first fool said. "Most of our members aren't round." Harry scratched absent-mindedly at his mohawk. It itched when it was in fast growth mode. He figured his hair was the reason he'd been abandoned by his parents, left at the Fool's Guild Hall with nothing but his clothes, his hair, and a well-used razor. Harry took the bladder on a stick from the former first fool. "I'll go fool around with the ledgers," he said to the audience. "Go back to practicing pratfalls. Meeting adjourned until next Monday morning. Harry put on the lead fool's harness and tried to get into the swing of things. I've no idea where that dream came from. I winced several times as I wrote it down. Normally, my dreams aren't narrated, but this one was. In metered verse, the narration evaporated before the sense of the dream, but all fools were there, walking on air. Spiral stare made it into the text before the words vanished. The change of foolish leadership? Well, that's politics as normal. All right, it's a chapter out of Love in Dreams. Leave a comment.